if he were to fall to the third round, the Cardinals would feel the pressure to take him because of the fact that, you've got the history with Jake Plummer. You've got the history with Pat Tillman. He is clearly the most relevant Sun Devil to come out in how many years? 20, 30 years, it feels like. Let's talk a little Cam Skattebo, Bo, because not sure if you saw this clip or not, but Kenny Dillingham, after the game, made it very clear as to what he hopes Cam Skattebo's next destination is post U of A football, or excuse me, Sun Devil football.
Wow.
Sorry.
I'm really excited of the foundation that Cam and this team and Leaf has, laid, and to see where it can take us. Now, if the Arizona Cardinals can just draft Cam so we can keep him home, that'd be awesome.
If you think that this is going to be the last time we talk about Cam Skattebo to the Arizona Cardinals, you best unsubscribe. You best find another podcast. PHNX Cardinals become Skattebo Cardinals this offseason. And all seriousness, the Cardinals, do they need a running back? They do not. They have James Conner under contract for the next 2 years. Trey Benson and Amari DiMercato both set to return in 2025. Whatever. They took a blocking tight end and splurged in the third round. So, my friend, I'm going to give the floor to you to start this conversation here. Even though we have a game to preview, we have Hold or Fold the Line. Your thoughts on the Arizona Cardinals potentially drafting Cam Skattebo here, on a Friday, January 3rd.
Man, I'm trying to avoid being a wet blanket here. I mean, you gave all the reasons that they're not like flush with draft capital like they were last year, right? 12 picks.
They just have a chalk, I think, draft class this year, roughly.
Just, for the most part. Yeah, they're missing a 6th round pick. They got a 7th round pick. The draft, I guess, stock for Cam Skattebo is about as high as it's ever going to be right now as it stands. The Cardinals, how would they get their mitts on a Cam Skattebo? Are we talking 3rd round?
I mean, I'm asking your opinion. What would be the earliest you would take him?
Listen to Eric Ruby and Anthony Totri. They'll tell you top 5.
Top 5 in the draft.
Yeah, they'll be like, I think he's like a McCaffrey, Leonard Fournette level draft.
Oh my God.
That's not the truth, Damon. I know you're the new host of AZ Wildcats here, but
Totri was just saying he'd use a 1st round pick on him earlier today.
Yeah, that's gross.
So is it not the truth?
You need a safety net.
Arizona Cardinals, and I'm in their spot. You still need to fix and fortify the defensive front 7. Look at both sides of both trenches, offensive and defensive line. I mean, I just don't see them having the luxury of drafting a player like Skat until the 4th round.
That's probably fair. That's a fair assessment. I do think that there is going to be immense internal pressure, excuse me, by a segment of this fan base and or this market to at least consider him. And I think that if he were to fall to the 3rd round, the Cardinals would feel the pressure to take him because of the fact that, you've got the history with Jake Plummer. You've got the history with Pat Tillman. He is clearly the most relevant Sun Devil to come out in how many years? 20, 30 years, it feels like. There have been better prospects like a Brandon Ayuk, right? Even who was the Buccaneers draft pick a couple years ago, the running back that has since been dethroned, it seems like, for Tampa. But they just had a back. White. Yeah, Rashad White was probably a better prospect as a running back, certainly.
Even N'Keal Harry.
No doubt. But I just feel like when you talk about, this is also an entertainment business and a cachet business, right? And what have we been saying about the Cardinals for so long? And I think it all kind of plays together a little bit. And hear me out, because I know Bo's already discussed it with where I'm going with this.
No, I'm not. Keep going, though.
There is, right now, I think a Tebow-esque kind of quality with the notoriety that Skattebo has, okay? And if we're talking about the Arizona Cardinals, and we mentioned this on our Pro Bowl segmented clip the other day, when you talk about a team that needs more primetime games to get more eyeballs on the Garrett Williams of the world, and you want this team to be more marketable, and you're talking about having to spend only a third-round pick on them, and I have seen so many third-round picks be flushed down the toilet, be mega busts for this franchise. Like, say what you want about the running back situation in 2025. James Conner's on a 2-year deal that's basically a 1-year deal. Trey Benson's complimentary back right now, right? We're hopeful. I think if Cam Skattebo is available when they pick in the 3rd round or around their pick, it would behoove them to draft him for a multitude of reasons. Is it the biggest need? Absolutely not. But like, I think if you're a Cardinal fan wanting this team to take strides on and specifically off the field, as long as he can play, I think it would be in their best interest. I think it's a smart move financially, fiscally for Monty Ossenford. Good hell, man. You took a blocking tight end and you had 4 third-round picks last year. Nobody can look me in the eye and say, let's say the Cardinals are picking in the first about 14 to 16 and they trade down, or they trade down in the 2nd round and they add more picks. I feel like the Cardinals, it would just make things much easier for them as a franchise. It would give them that cachet that I think they desperately need, right? Is that not a good enough argument for you?
That was a really nice argument. I do. I give you a lot of credit for it. I just don't think that the decision makers in the Arizona Cardinals are swayed by that. I think they would come down simply to what role would Cam Skattebo have for the 2025 Arizona Cardinals?
I think he would replace Amari DiMercato, and then you would look at your 3rd down guy that can run the football, that can catch the football out of the backfield. I think he would make DiMercato expendable. And then you would have a 3-headed backfield and somebody that would really push, I think, to get more carries. I know it's crazy to say. They just gave James Conner
can get Marvin the ball. We've seen him throw a little bit. I like Cam's ability to get Marvin the ball. Do you like that, Damon?
I can't even talk about this, Damon, because he's such a smart ass.
Yeah, I mean, it's better deep field passing ability than we've seen the last month and a half or so out of Kyler Murray.
We all thought it watching the Peach Bowl.
I will say,
I got people in the chat saying there are other needs. I would never. I wouldn't take a back other than Skattebo in this draft. Let me be clear on that. It's a special circumstance, and I think from a marketability standpoint and a star power it's a big reason why just this team, to me, you're trying to get thrust back into the national spotlight, and I get it. A lot comes with winning. Most of it should come with winning. I feel like, and to Coach Stark's point, like, is he a better player than Trey Benson right now?
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Thank you, Damon. Please expand on that.
If I could, I would 100% trade Trey Benson for the opportunity to pick Cam Skattebo. 100%.
I don't even think you need to trade him. I think you can just have 3 good backs on your roster.
That's fine too, but I would definitely rather have Scat than Trey Benson. And to your point earlier, Johnny, like less than just like a Tebow factor, because I don't know from a national perspective how much weight Scat will hold after like this little run he has here.
That's fair.
I do think from a local perspective, though, the Cardinals are a team that struggle with an internal fan base, right, in their own state. And if you can get ASU fans that maybe want to be Cardinals fans or want to root for the Cardinals,
no doubt,
along with their other team that they already root for in the NFL, Scat could make them like double Cardinals fans in a way, you know? Maybe it could grow that fan base in Arizona.
Bo, you look disgusted by this whole conversation.
No, I just don't. I don't think you're going to be able to persuade me that you could prioritize one of your top 3 selections.
I just don't
for something
care.
That would
I don't care.
Huh?
I just don't care. You've had 7 third-round picks the last 2 years. 6
but there was nobody worthy on the defensive side of the football that they could have really invested in.
Well, hang on a second.
In
Go back to this past third-round draft. Like, they took a blocking tight end and a corner who didn't play down for them. They could have taken some defensive line help.
Who?
Well, we'd have to pull it up. But I think it's a little bit naive to say there was no defensive help up front for them to take in the third round.
This wasn't a great defensive draft. It was not. Look at Donnie picking spreads and Trey Benson's ceiling is higher. I'll take Trey's upside. The stock for Cam Skattebo is never going to be higher than it is right now.
You think it'll go down after we're in
I mean, I
Indianapolis
think
for the
as far
combine.
as he tests, and we know that how much NFL teams will fall in love with the test scores. And
The Cardinals are very analytically based with their testing. It's a big reason why they took Tip Ryman. Wasn't he one
we'll
of the
see
best
how
athletes?
he shows up athletically. Like, does it match, with Tip? It very well could. But no, I mean, like, as far as position of need, you probably find it about as low as you can go with the Arizona Cardinals right now.
Rafa saying his testing is going to be horrible. I mean, we don't know that.
Michael Evans saying Bo is a bummer. LOL. You're absolutely right. And like that's why I've been mostly tight-lipped throughout this segment, just giving the floor to Johnny,
about it.
because I want you guys to have your fun. It like, here's what I will say. The worst of all realities would be if he remains in this division not wearing a Cardinals uniform.
This is what you brought up to me earlier.
And becomes good.
Yeah. I think he's going to be a really good pro. I do.
There's a specific team in mind there, though. Bo.
Yeah.
The 49ers.
Yeah, the 49ers, no doubt.
And that
McCaffrey's
would be
career is over, by the way.
That'd be devastating.
Thank you for ending McCaffrey's career here. But I agree.
He
Like,
won't play again.
If he goes to the 49ers, I mean, he's just think about, if he could play, he would make an impact for the 49ers on Sunday. Even after playing in the Peach Bowl and puking and rallying back, and then he would still get some yards against the Cards.
I just, like, sometimes the football gods, like, give you an opportunity and they make it available to you, and you have to just pick up the ball and run with it. And I mean, Kyle Shanahan takes a flipping running back every year, even though he's had McCaffrey and other players. Like, if you are Drew Petzing, who, I don't know if you guys saw this, the Cardinals are number one in explosive runs in the NFL. They love it. They slobber all over explosive runs. It's who they are offensively. Why can you not take a running back every year if you feel like it's such ingrained in your DNA? We know they wanted to take a back 2 years ago, and it didn't fall to them. So they took Trey Benson, who's good this year, right? Certainly didn't set the world on fire. They extended a 28-year-old running back. I think they're dating running backs year to year. You could remake that room in a single offseason if you wanted to. James Conner's extension is basically a 1-year deal with an extra year tacked on with very little money guaranteed. And I love James Conner, but he missed games at the end of this season. If Cam Skattebo makes it to the third round and the Cardinals pass, it will be a mistake. It will be a huge mistake from a viability standpoint, a marketability standpoint, a competitive standpoint.
Cam Skattebo is older than Trey Benson.
How old is Cam Skattebo? 24?
He's going to be 23 on February 5th.
That doesn't bother me.
Trey Benson will be 22 on July 21st.
He's also better.
He is.
Like, running back is one of those positions where it's like, honestly, I don't really care that Trey Benson ran a faster 40 time than what Scott's going to run. Like, you can't tackle him. I watch it with my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it doesn't translate as well to the NFL level, but I think it will.
Imagine Trey McBride and Cam Skattebo in the same offense.
Firing the boys up.
And then you unlock Marv, and then we're really rolling, man. And then we're not sucking post by. You just turn the keys over to Skattebo post by. Everything's fixed. Problems are solved. This is going to be.
I can't believe somebody who's just been pounding the table for getting the passing game right. And you're like, you know what they need to add? Another running back.
That did cross my mind. Like, he's like, I think they need to really lean on this run game for this offense.
Listen to me. It's a very special circumstance that I thankfully am smart enough to recognize. Third round or later, not in the second round. That's too rich even for me to admit. A flipping third round. I was ready to dish out a third round for a pass rusher at the deadline to help this team get to the postseason. Let's not pearl clutch third rounders, friends. Elijah Jones, how many snaps for the Cardinals this year?
He was hurt. Special circumstances for special boys and girls. Part of this chat and this show. That's what that is. Talking some scat here on PHNX Cards.
Scat it up.